Oh, you just see your head. How do I bring it down? Oh, I know. There we go.
I didn't plug it in either.
It's good. Is this it?
Yeah, but you have to do it over the top of that, otherwise it'll put too much weight on it.
Okay. There we go. And you're live.
Radhe Radhe, Dandavat Pranam, all Vaishnavas. Welcome to Shri Shri Radha Vinobihari Mandir, Gopinath Bhavan, Shri Vrindavan Dham.
Jai Ho.
Shri Gurudev Ki Jai, Shri Prabhupada Ki Jai, Shri Rupan Gauri Guru Varga Ki Jai, Pati Pavan Shri Nityananda Prabhu Ki Jai, Prem Purushottam Shachinandana Gaur Hari Ki Jai, Radha Vinobihari Ju Ki Jai, Radha Ramana Ju Ki Jai, Giriraj Maharaj Ki Jai, Harinam Sankirtan Ki Jai, Hare Krishna Mahamantra Ki Jai, Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai, Shri Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol. So welcome, Dandavat Pranam.
Dandavat Pranam.
We will begin with Mangalacharan, page 1 of this book, Shri Gauriya Giti Guccha. Vandeham, Shri Guru, Shri Yuta Padakamanam. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamanam Shri Guru Vaishnavashta Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Samagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvetam Savadurgam Valijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Savagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamsha Om Adhyanathimirantasya Dhyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Namo Vishnupadaya Radhikaya Priyatmane Shri Srimad Bhakti Vedanta Narayamiti Namine Shri Krishna Leela Katane Sudaksham Odaya Madhurya Gunaishwariyam Varam Varenyam Purusham Mahantam Narayanam Tvam Shirasha Namami Vidandinam Bhakta Shiromanim Cha Shri Krishna Balajimitaiva Vriddhi Chaitanya Leela Vritasaram Narayanam Tvam Satatam Prapadye Namaho Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshakarine Namo Vishnupadaya Gaurapresthaya सरस्वती नामिने श्रीवर्षभारती देवी दयिताय कृपाभये कृष्ण संबंधविज्ञान दयिते प्रभवे नमः माधुर्योज्ज्वलप्रेमाभ्य श्रीरूपानुगभक्तिदा श्रीगौरकरुणाशक्ति विग्रहाय नमोस्तुते नमस्ते गौरवाणी श्रीमूर्तये दीनतारिणे रूपानुगम्यरूपाप सिद्धान्तध्वन्तहारिणे नमो गौरकिशोराय साक्षात् वैराग्यमूर्तये विप्रलम्भनसम्बोधे पदम्बुजायते नमः नमो भक्तिविनोदाय सच्चिदानन्दनामिने प्रौढशक्तिस्वरूपाय रूपानुगमरायते गौराविर्भावभूमे स्वं निर्दिष्टा सजनप्रिया वैष्णव सर्वभौमश्री जगन्नाथायते नमः पञ्चाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः नमो महावदन्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्य नाम्ने गौरद्विषे नमः हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोस्तुते तप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये जयतां सुरतो मङ्गो मम मन्दं मतिर्गति मत्सर्वस्वं पदम्बोज राधामदनमोहनो दिव्यवृन्दारण्यकल्पद्रुमनो श्रीमद्रत्नागारसिंहासनस्थो श्री श्रीराधा श्रीलगोविन्ददेव प्रेष्ठादिभिः सेव्यमानं स्मरामि श्रीमन्द्रसरसारम्भे त्वं शिव ततस्थितः कार्षण्येन्दुस्वनैर्गोपी गोपीनाथ श्रीकृष्णः वृन्दाय तुलसीदेव्यै प्रियायै केशवस्य च कृष्णाभक्तिप्रदे देवी सत्यवत्यै नमो नमः पञ्चतत्त्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूपस्वरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्तशक्तिकम् जय श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानन्द श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौरभक्तवृन्द चेतोदर्पणमार्जनं भवमहागावग्निर्वापनं श्रेयगैरवचन्द्रिकावितरणं विद्यावधूजीवनम् आनन्दं मुदिवर्धनं प्रतिपदं पूर्ण Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So, one quick announcement before we continue with the bhajans. Tomorrow, we will be starting 2 hours earlier than usual, going out to Ramghat and Biharban and Chirghat, and we will be doing kirtan out there, remembering the beautiful pastimes which took place there, as we have heard from our Gurudev and Guru Varga. So we welcome you all to be with us. Starting 3 p.m. sharp. Vrindavan. Sudevi, can you turn off the volume on the phone, please? The other one? Yeah. Gurudev Kabe Mor Se Dina Have, page 34. What? Sudevi is going to rest her vocal cords a little bit today, so I'll be doing lead and repeat with you. But she's here, and she's good, she's okay. Manasthira kori nijane bosiya, manasthira kori nijane bosiya, Krishna namo gaho jabe, Krishna namo gaho jabe, manasthira nirjane bosiya, Krishna namo gaho jabe, Krishna namo gaho jabe. Samsara bhuka kane na poshire, deharo Krishna namo gaho jabe. প্রেমেতে করিবে ভোর নয়নে বহিবে লেহেতে পুলক উদিত হইবে প্রেমেতে করিবে ভোর নয়নে বহিবে কবে মোরসে কবে মোরসে গদ গদ বাহি মুখে বাহিরিবে কাঁপিবে শরীর গদ গদ বাহি মুখে বাহিরিবে কাঁপিবে শরীর ধর্ম মুহুর্মুহু বিবর্ণ হইবে ধর্ম মুহুর্মুহু বিবর্ণ হইবে সম্বিত প্রণয় সম কাঁপিবে শরীর ধর্ম মুহুর্মুহু বিবর্ণ হইবে স্তম্ভিত প্রণয় সম কাঁপিবে শরীর কবে মোরসে বিরহ কবে মোরসে নিষ্কপতে দশা কবে হবে নিরন্তর নাম গাবো নিষ্কপতে দশা কবে হবে নিরন্তর নাম গাবো আবেশে রহিয়া দেহ যাত্রা করি আবেশে রহিয়া দেহ যাত্রা করি তোমার করুণা পাবো নিরন্তর নাম গাবো আবেশে রহিয়া দেহ যাত্রা করি তোমার করুণা পাবো নিরন্তর নাম গাবো কবে মোরসে বিরহ কবে মোরসে গুরুদেব জয় গুরুদেব জয় जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, रूपान गुरु वर्ग की जय, श्री गुरु परंपरा की जय। Evara Purana Koro, Vaishnava Goshai, page 44. Evara Karuna Koro, Vaishnava Goshai, Evara Karuna Koro, Vaishnava Goshai, Patita Pavano Tomavine Chedona, Patita Vaishnava Gosha Patita Pavana Tamari Hona Patita Pavana Vaishnava Thakur, Jaya 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 Vaishnava Thakur. Prabhu Kripa Karo, More Daya Karo, Prabhu Kripa Karo, More Daya Karo, Prabhu Kripa Karo, More Daya Karo, Prabhu Kripa Karo, More Daya Karo. Yam Kalirupa Sharira Nadharata, page 47. One lower, lower. Yam Kalirupa Sharira Nadharata, Yam Kalirupa Sharira Nadharata, Tan Braja Prema Mahanidhi Kutharika, Tan Braja Prema Mahanidhi Kutharika, Kona Kapata Kuharata, Kona Kapata Kuharata, Yam Kalirupa Sharira Nadharata, Yam Kalirupa Sharira Nadharata, Nirakiraham Sano Pano Vidhayano, Nirakiraham Sano Pano Vidhayano, Kona Prita Kakani Payoto, Kona Prita Kakani Payoto, Kosavatya Jibhaji Vrindavan, Kosavatya Jibhaji Vrindavan, Kosavagandha Virachitam, Kosavagandha Virachitam, Yam Kalirupa Sharira Nadharata, Yam Kalirupa Sharira Nadharata, Goswami Pad ki jai. Ananda Kanda Nitai Chanda. Page 62 in the songbook. If you do not have a songbook, then Jiva Pavana Prabhu very mercifully, very kindly posts the bhajans in the comment section of the thread. So just scroll to the most recent post of Jiva Pavana Prabhu, and there you will find the bhajan along with translation, and frequently followed by beautiful commentaries from our acharyas. And if you need reminder for the page number, Lavangalaka from China, she posts the page number there. No, I'm not familiar enough with the rags, as I told you previously, to know which rag I'm singing, so I think it's just a major. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Ananda Kanda Nitai Chanda Aruna Nayana Karuna Chanda Ananda Kanda Nitai Chanda Aruna Nayana Karuna Chanda Karuna Pura Saghane Jura Karuna Pura Saghane Jura Hari Hari Bhani Bola Re Hari Hari Bhani Bola Re স্বাগত সঙ্গ বিবিধ ভাষ রসতরঙ্গ ঈষৎ হাস মধুর ভাষ ঈষৎ হাস মধুর ভাষ সঘনে গীমা দোলারে সঘনে গীমা দোলারে পতিত গৌর জপত গৌর পতিত গৌর জপত গৌর দীন রজনী আনন্দ ভোর পতিত গৌর জপত গৌর দীন রজনী আনন্দ ভোর প্রেম রতন করিয়া যতন প্রেম রতন করিয়া যতন জগ জনে করু দান রে জগ জনে করু দান রে কীর্তন মাঝ রসিক রাজ কীর্তন মাঝ রসিক রাজ জয় ছন কনয়া গিরিরাজ কীর্তন মাঝ রসিক রাজ জয় ছন কনয়া গিরিরাজ ব্রজ বিহার রস বিহার ব্রজ বিহার রস বিহার মধুর মধুর গান রে মধুর মধুর গান রে ধূলি ধূসর ধরণী উপর ধূলি ধূসর ধরণী উপর কবহু লুঠত প্রেমে কর ধূলি ধূসর ধরণী উপর কবহু লুঠত প্রেমে কর কবহু চালত কবহু খেলত কবহু চালত কবহু খেলত কবহু অত হাসরে কবহু অত হাসরে কবহু সেন কবহু কেদ কবহু সেন কবহু কেদ কবহু পুলক স্বর বিভেদ কবহু সেন কবহু কেদ কবহু পুলক স্বর বিভেদ কবহু লম্প কবহু ঝম্প কবহু লম্প কবহু ঝম্প কবহু দীর্ঘ শ্বাস রে কবহু দীর্ঘ শ্বাস রে করুণা অখিল বন্ধু করুণা সিন্ধু অখিল বন্ধু কলিযুগতম পুরন ইন্দু করুণা সিন্ধু অখিল বন্ধু কলিযুগতম পুরন ইন্দু জগত লোচন পটল লোচন জগত লোচন পটল লোচন নিতাই পুর আশরে নিতাই পুর আশরে অন্ধয় ধম দীন দূর জন অন্ধয় ধম দীন দূর জন প্রেম দানে করণ মোচন অন্ধয় ধম দীন দূর জন প্রেম দানে করণ মোচন পাদ জগত কেবল বাঞ্ছিত পাদ কেবল বাঞ্ছিত এ রাধা বল্লভ দাস রে এ রাধা বল্লভ দাস রে আনন্দ কন্দ নিতাই চন্দ অরুণ রয়ন করুণ ছন্দ আনন্দ কন্দ নিতাই চন্দ অরুণ নয়ন করুণ ছন্দ করুণাপুর সঘনে ঝুর করুণাপুর সঘনে ঝুর হরি 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 বল রে হরি 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 বল রে হরি 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 বল রে হরি 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 বল নিত্যানন্দ রাম জয় নিত্যানন্দ রাম নিত্যানন্দ রাম জয় নিত্যানন্দ রাম জয় নিত্যানন্দ রাম জয় নিত্যানন্দ রাম নিত্যানন্দ রাম জয় নিত্যানন্দ রাম নিতাই হে গৌর হে নিতাই হে গৌর হে নিতাই হে গৌর হে নিতাই হে গৌর হে पतित पावन श्री नित्यानंद प्रभु की जय प्रेम पुरुषोत्तम सचिनंदन गौर हरि की जय। Page 156. Kali Kukura Kadan Jadi Chao Hai. Kali Kukura Kadana Jadi Chahe. Kali Kukura Kadana Jadi Chahe. Kali Juga Pava Kali Bhayo Nashano. Kali Juga Pava Kali Bhayo Nashano. Shri Sachinandana Shri Sachinandana Radhe Shri Sachinandana Radhe Gadadhara Madano Nitayera Prarodhano Advaitera Prabhu Jita Gora Gadadhara Madano Nitayera Prarodhano Advaitera Prabhu Jita Gora Nimai Vishwambharo Srivasa Ishvara Nimai Vishwambharo Srivasa Ishvara Bhakata Samuha Chitta Chora Bhakata Samuha Chitta Chora Kali Kukura Kadana Jadi Chahe. Kali Kukura Kadana Jadi Chahe. Nadiya Shashadhara Mayapura Ishvaro. Nadiya Shashadhara Mayapura Ishvaro. Rama Pravartana Sura Rama Pravartana Sura Grihi Jana Shikshaka Nyasikulo Nayoko Grihi Jana Shikshaka Nyasikulo Nayoko Madhava Radha Bhavapura Madhava Radha Bhavapura Kali Kukura Kadana Jadi Chahe. Kali Kukura Kadana Jadi Chahe. Sarvabhauma Shodhana Gajapati Dharana Sarvabhauma Shodhana Gajapati Dharana Ramananda Poshana Vima Ramananda Poshana Vima Rupananda Vardhana Sanatana Palana Rupananda Vardhana Sanatana Palana Sachinandan Jai Gaura Hari Sachinandan Jai Gaura Hari Gaura He Gaura He Gaura He Gaura He Gaura He Gaura He Gaura Shri Sachinandana Gaura Hari Ki Jai. Jaya Jaya Sundara Nanda Kumar, page 344. I have no way of knowing if the signal's still going or not, so. What?
I checked it when I went out there, it was fine.
Okay. Jaya Jaya Sundara Nanda Kumar 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 Saurabha Sankata Vrindavana Tata Saurabha Sankata Vrindavana Tata Nihita Vasanta Vihar Nihita Vasanta Vihar Jaya Jaya Sundara Nanda Kumar Jaya Jaya Sundara Nanda Kumar Abhinava Kutmala Gucha Samujvala Abhinava Kutmala Gucha Samujvala Kunchita Kuntaladhar Kunchita Kuntaladhar Pranayi Jalerita Chandara Sahakrita Pranayi Jalerita Chandara Sahakrita Churnita Varakhana Sar Churnita Varakhana Sar Jaya Jaya Sundara Nanda Kumar Jaya Jaya Sundara Nanda Kumar Chaturadri Ganchana Rachita Rasochana Chaturadri Ganchana Rachita Rasochana Radha Madana Vikar Radha Madana Vikar Bhuvana Krishna Kanhaiya Lal ki jai. Page 342, Kalayati Nayanam, Dishi Dishi Valitam. 342. Kalayati Nayanam, Dishi Dishi Valitam, Pankajaiva Vidu, Aruta Chalitam, Kalayati Nayanam, Dishi Om वृषभानंदन श्रीमती राधा रानी की जय। Now, since we are continuing with Sri Damodarasṭakam, I don't know how long it will take. We're still in chapter 2. We will continue singing Sri Damodarasṭakam. So before we sing that, and then Hare Krishna, we will offer a lamp. Shri Yashoda Damodar ki jai, Shri Radha Manju ki jai. Shri Radha Bindu Bihari Ju ki jai, Shachinandana Gaura Hari ki jai, Giriraj Maharaj ki jai, Shalagram ki jai, Baby Gopal ki jai, and the little one. Oops, I don't know what happened. So Sri Damodarasṭakam, page 290, I believe. In the old tune, I think. Namami Shwaram Sachit Anandarupam Dasat Kundalam Gokule Brajamanam Yashodabhiyo Dukhana Dhavamanam Param Vishtam Atyantato Dutagopya Dudantamuhurnetra Yugmam Rejantam Param Bhojajumena Satam Kanetam Uhu Shvasakam Padrirekhankapantam Sita Damodaram Bhaktivadam Iti Drikshalilabi Ananda Kunde Saghoshamima Jantam Akhyapayantam Kadiyeshitagyeshu Bhaktairjikatam Puna Prematastam Shraddha Vritti Vande Varam Deva Moksham Mokshavadim Va Rachanyam Vrindeham Vare Shadabhiha Idam Deva Purnato Gopalavaram Sada Me Manusya Virastam Chimande Idam Te Mukham Bhojam Avyaktanile Ritam Kuntalai Siddharaktaishta Gopya Muhushtumbitam Bimbaraktaadharam Manasya Virasam Ayam Lakshanabhay Namo Deva Damodarananta Vishnu Prasida Prabhu Dukha Jalabhimannam Kripa Drishti Drishyati Dinam Bhatanam Vihani Shamamadyam Medhyakshi Drishya Kuberatmajo Badha Murtyaiva Yagva Vayamuchito Bhakti Bhajo Krito Cha Tatha Prema Bhaktin Sakamekaya Cha Namokshe Graho Meskin Damodareha Namaste Sudamne Suradipti Dhamne Vadiyodarayato Vishwasya Dhamne Namo Radhikayai Vadiya Priyane Namo Nandadinayo Devaya Tuhyam Namo Radhikayai Vadiya Priyane Namo Nandadinayo Devaya Tuhyam Shri Damodarasṭakam ki jai Shri Radha Damodar ji ki jai Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare Hare, Bolo Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Nitai Gaura Premanande Hari Hari Bol. Shri Gurudev ki jai, Shri Prabhupada ki jai, Rupan Guru Varga ki jai, Patit Pavan Shri Nityananda Prabhu ki jai, Prem Purushottam Shachinandana Gaura Hari ki jai, Radha Vinu Bihari Ju ki jai, Giriraj Maharaj ki jai, Hare Krishna Mahamantra ki jai, Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki jai, Shri Gaura Premanande Hari Hari Bol. Dandava Pranama Vaishnavas. Before we begin, I just want to tell you that tomorrow we will be going live from Ramghat. From there to, where are we going? Biharban. From there to Chirghat. So we'll be out starting at 3 o'clock p.m. Vrindavan time, sharp. And we hope you will be with us at that time. Gurave Gaura Chandraya Radhikaya Tadale Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tarbhaktaya Namo Namaha Ajnanathmirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Namahum Vishnupadaya Radhikaya Priyatmane Shri Srimad Bhaktivedanta Narayaniti Namine Namahum Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishthaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanang Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Mukham Karoti Vachalam Pangam Langayate Giring Yat Kripatamaham Vande Shri Gurum Dinatarinam. First of all, I offer my Dandavat Pranam thousands of times in the dust of the lotus feet of our beloved Gurudev. Nitya Lila Pravishram Vishnupad Ashto Tarashat Shri Srimad Shri Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj. In the same thousands of Dandavat Pranam, in the dust of the lotus feet of Nitya Lila Pravishram Vishnupad Ashto Tarashat Shri Srimad Shri Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. And to all of our Rupanuga Gauriya Guru Varga. And to all Vaishnavas past, present and future, including all of you who are present with us today, I offer my Dandavat Pranam.
Dandavat Pranam, dear Vaishnavas. Radhe Radhe Radhe
Radhe Radhe Radhe Shyam. Let me turn this off. So we are continuing with Sri Damodarasṭakam. This book here, beautiful book. If you don't have it on your shelf, I recommend that you get it. This is from the heart of Sri Satyavrata Muni, what he is witnessing and what he is also desiring. And it is written down in Padma Purana by Ved Vyas himself, commented on by Sri Sanatana Goswami Pad, then our Param Gurudev Srila Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj, then our Srila Gurudev Srila Bhakti Vedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj. So it is full of nectar, full of ras. Before entering into this beautiful treasure and investigating its contents, we will pray to these personalities in the words of Sri Raghunath Das Goswami. Vairag Juga Bhakti Rasam Prayatner Apayanam Anubhikshamandam Kripam Vidirya Paraduk Duki Sanatanastam Prabhum Ashrayami. Begging in the dust of their lotus feet that may even a particle of their moods, which are present within these pages, manifest itself within our hearts. Oh, I have to turn this volume down one second. There we go. So, we're on verse 2. Rudantam muhurnetram yugmam rijantam karambho jaju meno shatam kanetram muhushvashakam patridekam kakantha stitagraivam damodaram bhaktibadham namami shwaram Sachidanandarupam Lasat Kundalam Gokule Brajamanam. Sorry, I didn't take any water after I finished. So now we are continuing with the Digdarshini Vritti. This is the commentary of our Srila Gurudev, Srila Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj, on the commentary of his Gurudev and Sri Sanatana Goswami Pad on Sri Damodarasṭakam. So I expect a lot of nectar to manifest today from these pages. So our Srila Gurudev, Srila Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj is telling, on this day, Sri Krishna, the personality who causes the three worlds to tremble merely by the movement of his eyebrows, has become overwhelmed by fear of his mother. So simply by the movement of his eyebrows, the three worlds tremble. There are verses in Shastra which tell this, in the scripture, that just like this, one slight movement and everyone trembles. And yet, he's afraid of his own mother. Seeing the tiny stick in her hand, he is trembling and stammers. Mother, look, don't hit me. I did not break the pot of yogurt. So Srila Gurudev is giving us the very rasik and bhavuk explanation. As I was telling yesterday, there are different ways of viewing these pastimes. We must understand that they are not material at all. But yet, there are ways of viewing them from the perspective of Aishvarya Gyan, knowledge of the absolute truth. And so that would be, by the movement of God's eyebrows, all of the three worlds tremble. And the rasa aspect is that Mother Yashoda doesn't know he's God. All she knows is her love for him, Vatsalya Prem. And he forgets he's God. All he knows is, my mother is upset with me. She's angry and she's holding a stick. And he's very afraid. So this is rasa vichar and there's tattva vichar as well. So for us as sadhakas, it's essential, at least in the beginning, that we understand and approach very carefully from the perspective of tattva vichar. And even when one is in a very high state of transcendental connection, still when they're in sadhak roop, like you see with Raghunath Das Goswami in Vilap Kusumanjali, he's going in and out. In his siddha swarup, means his eternally perfect form, in service to Radha and Krishna, and then coming back out into his sadhak, practitioner, devotee mood. Back and forth, back and forth. And he's expressing himself, feeling himself very lowly, and also seeing the absolute perspective. So when those personalities manifest in this world to show us by their own example, they're showing us that they also see from the perspective of tattva, essential foundational truth, and also understand the Aishvarya, the opulence of God, the opulence of Bhagavan. But then they also shift back and forth. So they go into that other perspective as well, the mood of the Brajbasis, where their love is so great that even though it contains all Aishwarya, all opulence to the maximum extent, like our Srila Gurudev spoke, that one particle of dust of Vrindavan contains more Aishvarya, more opulence, more amazingness than all of the Vaikuntha planets combined. So it means all Aishvarya is fully present here. And in Radhakund, one particle of dust contains more than all of Vrindavan combined. More Aishvarya, more opulence, more awesomeness, more majesty, more glory than in all of Vrindavan combined. And yet, because Vrindavan, and especially Radhakund, is completely overwhelmed with prema ras, the nectar of divine love and affection for Krishna, all of that Aishvarya becomes like a particle of dust in the ocean of rasa, in the ocean of the nectar of love for Krishna. So it's not that it's not present here. There was a history with Sri Sanatana Goswami Pad, and at that time the emperor, his name was Akbar, he came through. We know that he went to Radhakund with all of his army, his elephants, his horses, and thousands of soldiers and everything. And they were looking for any water. And Raghunath Das Goswami pointed them, at that time it wasn't excavated, it was just Gauri Khet. Gauri Khet means a yellow, Gaura means yellow or golden field. And it was like a little swamp at that time. It had all filled in over time. And Raghunath Das Goswami said, you can drink there. And they said, how are we supposed to give water for all of our associates? All of the military, all of the elephants and horses and everyone. And Raghunath Das Goswami said, it will be enough. So they were drinking and drinking, and everyone was satisfied by that. I think maybe that somehow gave, I'm just saying this is my own thing. They drank Radhakund water. How can it not have some purifying effect? So there's a history that this Akbar also wanted to do some seva. So he came to Sanatana Goswami Pad and he wanted to do some service. And Sanatana Goswami said, at Keshi Ghat there's one step that needs to be fixed. Just a little step. He's like, I'm the emperor. I have the entire treasury of all of India. I can do anything. You just want me to fix that step? And Sanatana Goswami said, yes, just that. There was a little crack in the step. So they went to investigate the step, and because of Sanatana Goswami's mercy, he was given some, you could say, spurti, glimpse of the divine dham, the divine transcendental realm. And he noticed that that one step was made of the most valuable, precious gems that in all of his treasury, he could not fix it. And he actually told this to Sanatan that I don't have enough in my entire treasury to even fix this one crack. So our Srila Gurudev would tell this history. So Vrindavan has all Aishwarya. But what are the gems of Vrindavan? I mean, we read about it. That the sand of Jamuna is made of the most valuable gemstones. They're sitting on golden thrones and this and that. And then when you go more deeply into it, you understand, oh, these golden thrones, flowers, their jewelry is all natural. I want to show you this, page 40. I don't know if you can see it. Okay. So when we first saw this picture, I don't know who it was painted by. Can you see it? I don't know who it was painted by, but we saw it in the bazaar many years ago, and I always wanted to get it, and finally I asked them, can I purchase it? And they let me purchase it, but I've never seen another copy of it. But if you look closely, all of their jewelry, everything is simply flowers. Their necklaces are made of flowers. There's flowers in their hair. Everything is flowers. And so we got it and gave it as a gift to Sudevi's mother, Manorama. So, excuse me. Sorry. But we should understand that all Aishwarya, all opulence is present here to its maximum degree. In the same way that in Madhurya Ras, in the highest Ras, the mood of the gopis' love and affection for Krishna, all other rasas are fully present to their maximum degree. I didn't plan that prop, just so you know, that's why I was stretching like that. So, Srila Gurudev is telling that Krishna was feeling afraid. Although fear itself is afraid of him. He was feeling afraid of his mother and saying, look, don't hit me, I didn't break the pot of yogurt. Mother Yashoda is slightly full-figured. As she was running, her braid came undone, and the flowers woven in her hair began falling out. It was as if the flowers were saying, Mother, you are not alone. We are also with you. Remember, everything in Golok Vrindavan, in the transcendental realm, is conscious. In Brahma Samhita, after the Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami verses finish, the next verse says, Shriyaha Kantaha Kantaha Parama Purusha Kalpataravo Druma Bhumischintamani Ganamayi Toyam Ambratam Kataganam Natyam Gamanam Abivam Shipriyasaki Chidanandam Jyoti. Everything is conscious and self-luminous. Every particle of dust can fulfill any desire of anyone. Chintamani, Druma Bhumish, Chintamani. Every tree is a Kalpavriksha tree. Means it can fulfill any desire of anyone. So everything is conscious, everything is awakened to its love and affection for Krishna. So when Gurudev is saying, it was as if these flowers were saying, Mother, you are not alone. We are also with you. These flowers are also conscious, and they are assisting her in serving Krishna by decorating her. And part of this Leela is that they are also falling from her hair. As the milk was about to dive into the fire, feeling itself bereft of service, these flowers are also similarly conscious. Those devotees who make their hearts spotless by endlessly drinking the nectar of devotion to Sri Krishna, imbued with extreme attachment and laced with renunciation of the material world, attain a state of meditating on Sri Krishna deep within their immaculate hearts, which are fully saturated by loving service. That's a very beautiful and large sentence. In essence, stating that those devotees who have completely pure hearts, they have no other desire, no other motivation other than what is for Krishna's happiness, what is for his pleasure, what is for his benefit. They have no attraction to anything of this material world. Ananya Bhakti means without anything else. Their hearts are fully saturated by a mood of loving service. So they attain a state of meditating on Krishna deep within their hearts. It means always Krishna is present. Tomar Hridaya Sada Govinda Vishram. Within the hearts of these pure devotees, Krishna is always residing there. In that deep state of meditation, of absorption, they have captured him within the core of their hearts. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, in the form of Narayan, sometimes appears in the meditations of Lord Brahma, the creator of the universe, and the four Kumaras, the original sages. Still, even in their deepest meditation, they cannot capture him in the form of Brajendra Nandan, Sri Krishna. In that prayer by Rupa Goswami, Krishna Deva Bhavantam Vande Manamanasa Madhukaram Arpayani Japata Pankajam Akarande. The next line, Yadyapi Samadhishu Vidhirapi Pashyati Naptava Nakhagram Marichim. There he's saying, although in full samadhi, in complete trance, Lord Brahma himself, the first created being within this universe, whose responsibility it is to create all life and everything inside this universe as a servant of the Lord, in complete samadhi, natava nakagra marichim. He can't even capture the dim reflection of the effulgence coming from the toenails of Krishna. In full samadhi endeavor. But yet Rupa Goswami says, still, I know that I have no bhakti for you, but you can make the impossible possible. So please always allow my mind, which is like a bumblebee, to go to your reddish feet, which are like lotus flowers. So here Srila Gurudev is saying that Brahma, the four Kumaras, in complete meditation, they cannot capture him in the form of Rajendra Nandan Shyamasundar Krishna. So they may be able to capture the form of Narayan sometimes in their meditation, or Paramatma, but not Braj Krishna. Yet Mother Yashoda actually bound him, the complete embodiment of all nectarian humors of transcendental love. So this shows that he can only be captured or bound by his loving devotees. He who is otherwise unconquerable can be conquerable by love and affection. Only that. And that love needs to be of a certain character. If you really want to conquer or capture that personality. To control Brajendra Nandan Shyamasundar. What does it mean to control? It means to love him so much that he wants to be completely captured within your heart. That kind of control. There's that booklet by our Gurudev, To Be Controlled by Love. Love can control. If one has enough love and that person responds to love, they can be controlled. And Krishna is of that nature that he consents, accepts, and his nature is to be controlled by love. The purer the love, the greater the control. Whose love is the greatest? Whose love controls Krishna more than anything? Only Srimati Radhika. Therefore, he is fully captured and controlled by her. He may be Madan Mohan. Millions of cupids may faint at the idea of the effulgence coming from his toenails. And yet, she is Madan Mohan Mohini, who completely captures, attracts, and bewilders the mind of even Sri Krishna himself. He who feels completely fortunate just by attaining one particle of the fragrance coming from her transcendental form. This fragrance is actually the fragrance of divine love and affection for Krishna. This completely intoxicates him, and he forgets everything. He forgets who he is, he forgets where he is, he forgets about his flute and his turban and everything. The flute falls to the ground, his turban, his mukut falls to the ground, and he also goes along with it. Madan Mohan Mohini Srimati Radharani Ki Jai. Oh, which book am I reading? Sri Damodarasṭakam. Oh, okay, thank you. We're having an extended Kartik. It's going to continue. It started from last year, and it's still going now. It started before lockdown.
Just every now and then want to make sure it's still.
It's a little blurry at the moment.
Oh,
Okay.
The internet's on?
No, this one has the SIM card in it. The SIM card which drowned in Radha Kund still works, but just not my phone. Okay.
Very good.
So that's quite amazing. That the most amazing, most powerful sages and personalities within this universe, we're talking about Lord Brahma and the four Kumaras. They may be able to have darshan of Narayan for some time, or capture any darshan of Paramatma. But Brajendranandan Shyamasundar Krishna of Vrindavan, they cannot capture him. Mother Yashoda, she is able to capture and bind and control Krishna. So, unimaginably powerful warriors, despite their greatest valor, pose no threat to Krishna. Unimaginably powerful warriors pose no threat for him. But Mother Yashoda not only captured him, she brandished a small stick in her hand and threatened him. Shall I beat you now? Oh, imagine that. That Supreme Personality, from whom a part of 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 a part manifests as Lord Nrsingadev, who instantaneously can shred millions of demonic soldiers. That Supreme Original Personality is now in a situation where his mother is saying, shall I beat you? And he is afraid. As Kanhaiya rubbed his tear-filled eyes and tried to hide behind his mother, he cried out, Mother, don't hit me. He did not look directly at her. He only looked fearfully at the stick in her hand. You monkey friend, she exclaimed. Chor, thief. I've been looking at the monkeys recently. It's hard not to see them because there's lots of monkeys in Vrindavan. They're very sneaky, very tricky. And I don't know who trained who, but when you read about the descriptions of Krishna in Srimad Bhagavatam and Krishna book, and then you see the nature of the monkeys, it's almost the same. Little Krishna and the monkeys, the way that they behave, how they act, the way they wait and then jump on an opportunity to take your glasses or take your mala or take your food. I mean, they'll rip a hole in the bottom of your bag of fruit and all the fruit falls on the ground. And then as the fruit's going everywhere and you're trying to pick up 10 more monkeys come and pick up all the fruit. They're just really smart, really cunning, really cheeky.
Or they distract the fruit wallah.
They'll distract the fruit wallah. They're very smart, and you won't even notice that they're there. They're so quiet. They sneak up. They're so naughty. And there's something charming about it too. Like, oh my God, I can't believe, like these. Maybe if Madhu Mangal's here. I remember, and Krishna Kripa, they would come back from going to the market, doing kirtan, and some monkey would just take their hat off the top of their head. 2 or 3 days, they would have 2 hats missing. So they're just really smart and really quick. And when you read about the childhood pastimes of Krishna, these babyhood pastimes, how naughty Krishna is. And you see the nature of these monkeys. It's almost like the same thing. So I was wondering who trained who. And Mother Yashoda's like, you monkey friend? Chor? Thief? To this Krishna replied, oh my, he's so naughty. Mother, there is no chor in my dynasty. Chor means thief in Hindi or Braj Bhasha. There is no chor in my dynasty. There is only a chor in your dynasty. So it's a patriarchal society. Krishna is thinking, in my father's lineage, there is no chor. But in your lineage, in your family, there is one person named Chor. His name was Chor Ghosh Gopa. It was the name of one of Yashoda's ancestors. So Chor literally means thief. Krishna's name is Makan Chor, means he's a butter thief. Chitta Chor, who's stealing one's mind consciousness. So Krishna tells her, there's no Chor in my dynasty, but there is one in yours. Oh really? She retorted. If you did not steal the butter, then who was feeding the monkeys? Kanhaiya replied, he who made the monkeys was feeding them. Is that so? She replied. Tell me frankly, who broke this pot? Look, mother, when you ran to save the milk, your large ankle bells hit the pot and broke it. So now he's not only stealing and doing nonsense activities, he's also covering with falsities. He's telling her that she broke the pot with her ankle bell as she was running to save the milk that was boiling over in the other room. Then she asks, then how did you get butter all over your face? Krishna said, Mother, the monkeys were eating the butter, so I was trying to scare them away. As they were running, they smeared butter all over my mouth. Hearing this exchange, all of the gopis began to laugh. Mother Yashoda said, I am not about to set you free so easily. I am going to tie you up. So Srila Bhakti Kamal Govinda Maharaj, she told us that when she saw how afraid Krishna was of her stick, how he was weeping and how he was breathing, panting so heavily, she felt bad in her heart. She didn't want to scare him so much. So immediately she put that stick down. But she still needed to teach him a lesson because she's his mother. It's her duty to discipline him. Not only is he stealing and helping others to enjoy the profits of his stealing, but now he's lying and making up stories to get out of it. Mind you, he's very little. So she needs to teach him a lesson. She needs to discipline him for his own well-being, for his benefit. This is all within the category of Ananya Uttama Bhakti, pure exclusive love and devotion for Krishna. It is for his benefit. I'm not about to set you free so easily, she said. I am going to tie you up. Her mood was grave. If I don't chastise him, she thought, he will become quite the troublemaker. With this in mind, she decided to bind him. Although Sri Krishna started to cry, she did not let him go. So when any nonsense person is caught in the act, they begin to cry, they begin to weep. Anyone who has children knows this. The child will be having so much fun, but if they get caught, like that, they'll start weeping and crying because they got caught. Before that time, no problem. So Krishna is realizing, she has caught me, she's going to bind me now. I'm in big trouble. Then he starts to weep, but anyhow, she didn't let it faze her. Although he started to cry, she did not let him go. She thought to herself, I will keep him tied up for a while, and when I have finished churning the yogurt, I will untie him and feed him butter and breast milk to calm him down. So she had a whole plan. She needs to discipline him, but then afterwards she will smother him with motherly love and affection, and he'll be okay. Mother Yashoda considered Krishna is Kala, a cunning and mischievous thief, and his accomplice is Ulukala. Ulukala. Ulukala means grinding mortar. So Krishna had turned over this grinding mortar and used it as a step stool to reach up high and steal that butter. So she saw that grinding mortar as his accomplice. Because of this, both deserve to be punished. Because this accomplice is also conscious, is it not? So he's helping Krishna to steal the butter. She's going to tie them together. Both deserve to be punished. I will tie them together in such a way that Krishna cannot untie himself from the mortar. Thinking thus, she proceeded to bind him. Then comes a verse from Srimad Bhagavatam 10:9-15. Taddama bhadyamanasya svarbhakasya kritagasah dhyangulo namabhutena sandadenyacha gopika. When Mother Yashoda tried to bind her mischievous child, the rope was 2 fingers too short. So she tied it to another rope. So we've discussed this many times. Was 2 fingers too short once again? Once again? What do these 2 fingers too short mean? You can write the English or the Sanskrit.
Mercy and endeavor.
Very good. But I want the devotees to see it written here. She had removed the silk ribbon from her braid in order to bind Krishna with it. Other than the gold chain around his waist, Krishna was quite naked. Very little, very small. If you go to the little villages all around Braj, these little kids, 1, maybe 2, 2.5, even up to 3 years old. Completely carefree, running around naked, playing in the dust of Braj. Krishna was so young at that time, 2, 2.5 maybe, and very sweet, very beautiful. Other than a gold chain around his waist, he was quite naked. Gurudev would say it very sweetly, quite naked. So, although his tiny waist measured no more than 12 fingers, I don't know how they do that, but Gurudev would say the size of a fist, but 12 fingers, I would have to add 2 more. Measured no more than 12 fingers. The ribbon could not be made to bind him. It was 2 fingers too short. Mercy and endeavor, very good. The effort of the devotee and the Lord's mercy. And the Sanskrit, Madhumangal, what's the Sanskrit? Okay. Time and again. Mother Yashoda asked her friend for another rope, but that was also too short. Time and again she gathered and added more rope. But it was always too short, and only 2 fingers too short. Not more, not less. Sorry. There is an esoteric meaning in this. So you all know the esoteric meaning, so we're going to read it. 1 finger represents the sadhaka's endeavors, and the other finger represents the Lord's mercy. Sri Bhagavan becomes controlled by his devotee only when both of these elements are present together. So, I'm remembering the words of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada at this moment. He was speaking about Guru, but this also is significant in terms of Krishna. He was saying that Krishna is not a laborer in our garden, that we can snap our fingers and demand that he comes according to our call. We should understand that we are servants of Krishna and that he is our Lord and Master. And so just by demanding that he comes or gives something to us now, that is not the proper mood of a servant. He said, rather, we should make ourselves in such a way. We should prepare our hearts in such a way that when he chooses to show his mercy, we'll be able to receive it. So that is our endeavor, our cheshta, making that beautiful kunja inside of our hearts. Of course, we will only be assisting Sri Guru in making that kunja within our heart in such a way that it will be so attractive, so beautiful, so sweet, and so fragrant that Krishna and his divine associates will want to come and play there in that kunja of our hearts. So there's something that's necessary from our side, and that is our cheshta. And then the other side is kripa, the mercy. Our endeavor is necessary to attract that mercy. When that mercy chooses to come is according to his own sweet will. If he never chooses to, that's still according to his own sweet will. And Mahaprabhu, in the mood of Srimati Radhika, states that also. In the last verse of Sri Shikshashtakam, you can do whatever you like with me. You can reject me forever, if this is what pleases you. Or you can embrace me, or you can embrace another in front of me. You can do whatever you like, but this will not change the nature of my love for you. This will not change the fact that you are my prananath. This is unconditional love. There's no condition for it. But this cheshta, this hard endeavor to prepare something for the service of Krishna, all of the external things we do, it should be a manifestation of what we're doing inside. Really, it's the heart that Krishna's attracted to. He's not attracted to a piece of fruit. He's not attracted to any water or a leaf or a flower, unless that leaf is Tulsi Devi. He's not attracted to all of these things. Yome bhaktya prayachati. If it is offered with love and devotion, bhakti, that is what is attractive to Krishna. So if somehow that endeavor that we make under the guidance of Guru and Vaishnavas increases that greed, that intense desire to serve and please Krishna, by which we make that platform within our hearts so attractive, then Krishna may choose and Gurudev will request Krishna. Like Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur requested on behalf of Bimal Prasad, this boy who was desperate to receive initiation from Srila Gaura Das Babaji Maharaj. He was requesting, petitioning on his behalf, look at this boy. Please give him your mercy. If you don't give him your mercy, he will die. So petitioning on behalf of us, our Gurudev, our Vaishnavas will call to Krishna. Now you should come and perform your pastimes within the caves, within the core of their heart. This is the mercy of Krishna. Guru Vaishnava is also the form of the mercy of Krishna. So these two things are necessary. Our hard, earnest, honest, intense, desperate endeavor. And the mercy of Krishna. Both of them together are necessary. So here, Bhagavan becomes controlled by his devotee only when both of these elements are present together. Cheshta, endeavor, and Kripa, mercy. The Ramanuja Sampradaya is divided in two according to whether they emphasize the Vedic scriptures or the Tamil scriptures. The former are known as the Varakalai and the latter as Tenkalai. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. It's Tamil. So they have distinct opinions regarding the means of ultimate attainment. The view of the Varakalai Ramanujas is based on grace arising from a cause. Their stance is compared to Markat Nyai, the analogy of the baby monkey clinging to his mother for protection. So their understanding of the scriptures is that everything is dependent upon our own endeavor. When the mother monkey moves about with her baby, she makes no effort to hold him. These really little monkeys, very small, practically newborn babies, they have to hold on with all fours. They've got their hands like this, holding the hair of their mother, and their feet also holding, either from the underside or on her back. And she's climbing up things, moving here, jumping from this place to that place, and they have to hold on for dear life. So she makes no effort to hold him. Instead, the baby clings on to her as she leaps from tree to tree. And if he falls, his mother will never accept him again. She doesn't even want to look. She doesn't want to see what has happened. But it's all his own endeavor. So this is the mood of the Varakalai Ramanujas, that it is up to us to hold on. So they've taken that one perspective, that everything is up to my endeavor. Conversely, the view of the Tenkalai Ramanujas is based on causeless grace. Their stance is compared to Marjar Nyai, the analogy of a cat carrying the kitten in her mouth. The mother cat picks her kitten up with her teeth and carries him about. You've seen those little kittens. They can't open their eyes. They can barely move. They can barely even make any sound. They are completely like in ignorance, just kind of all in a big pile. And the mother just picks them up in her teeth on the back of the neck and just carries them from place to place. The mother cat picks her kitten up with her teeth and carries him about. The kitten does not make any effort and goes wherever she takes him. Thus, the followers of the Varakalai school strive for the grace of Bhagavan by their own efforts, and conversely, the followers of the Tenkalai school rely solely on faith in the causeless grace of Bhagavan, considering their own endeavors ineffective. So, which one do we accept? We've already discussed this. This question was asked to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and he said, Both are necessary. It's amazing how in the pastimes, in the leelas of Krishna, even this 2 fingers too short goes so deep. So much philosophy and deep understanding comes through that simple analogy, that simple thing. Mother Yashoda could not bind him, and it was only that much too short. The Gaudiya Vaishnava school asserts that both views are necessary. The following analogy is given to illustrate this stance. A person who has fallen into a well will cry, "Please help me, pull me out." Then from above, someone may lower a rope into the well and say, "I am lowering down a rope. Catch hold of it and I will pull you out." However, if the person in the well does not catch hold of the rope, he will not be freed. From his end, he must hold on to the rope, and from above, he must be pulled out. And this is very appropriate for this Cheshta, Kripa and Cheshta discussion. So there's something which is coming down. That is the mercy. That is the rope. Srila Gaur Govinda Maharaj said, mercy ropes are hanging. Sri Guru is compared to that mercy rope. But we have to do something also, and that is to hold on. So both are there. We must hold on, and the mercy must present itself. Both of these things are necessary. If you were stuck in a well, and someone lowered a rope to pull you out, and you're like, "No, I'm only dependent on your mercy." They said, "Yes, hold on, or tie it around yourself. Do something." We have an obligation on our side. Their mercy has come to us. It has descended to us, and we have to do something as well. Srila Gurudev said in this connection, "My mercy is flowing like the Yamuna River, but I see that so many are just on the edge of that river, and they are dying of thirst because they won't drink." The mercy is there. What do we have to do? We have to do something as well. They say you can lead a horse to water, but you cannot make him or force him to drink. So there's a requirement on our side, and there's also the requirement from that side. Both are necessary if we want to really make that connection and progress. So we can't play this role. A lot of times people have this mood, like, it's all dependent on Krishna's mercy anyway, so whatever's going to happen is going to happen. So then they just engage in all kinds of mundane activities, expecting some kind of transcendental, immediate awakening or revelation to just spontaneously happen. And it doesn't usually work like that. It may, very rarely, work like that. Like, I don't know, they say being struck by lightning 1,000 times in a row. Yeah, that kind of thing. It might happen, but the chances of that are slim to none. There's a general process by which all of this takes place. So this kind of laziness, whatever's going to happen is going to happen. We only have so many breaths anyway, so whatever's going to happen is going to happen. Or I'm not going to make any endeavor to do anything. I'm just going to sit there, and if I develop taste in Harinam, then oh well. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. That mood is actually like a slug. It's the mood of a slug. It's just nice. Slugs even make an effort to go across the road. It's very, very lazy. It is some kind of Mayic excuse. Something is necessary from our side. And Sri Guru, even Srila Gaur Govinda Maharaj, he asked, why do we do sadhana? Why do we do sadhana? He said, because Guru tells you to do it. He wants to see that you're making an effort, an endeavor. If Guru wants, in one moment, he can zap you with Krishna Prem. Narada Muni was able to awaken Mrigani the hunter very quickly. And Haridas Thakur, within 3 days, was able to awaken that prostitute who was sent by Ramchandra Khan to destroy his reputation. He was able to awaken her. And we've seen sometimes when Baladev Prabhu, for example, placed his hand on the head of Ugra Shravasuta, Suta Goswami, the son of Romaharshan, and in one moment, all Vedic knowledge, everything was revealed within his heart. This you see sometimes. As Srila Gaur Govinda Maharaj said, when Guru sees that you are making an endeavor, what are you willing to do? One time our Gurudev said, you want me to put the rasgulla in my mouth, to chew it, to swallow it, and then you want to get all the benefit. He said it doesn't work like that. You must do something. I remember Gurudev telling that, and it affected me. Yes, I want him to do everything, and I don't want to do anything, and I want to get all of the benefit of his 50 years of intense bhajan, even in this life. At that time, it was 50 years. I don't want to do anything. I just want to be lazy, and I want him to just give me everything, just like that. And Gurudev was like, no, it doesn't work like that. You must make an endeavor. And if we make that endeavor in such a way that they notice, then their hearts will melt, and they will give us something. What is that? Installments of enthusiasm, inspiration, and bhakti sukriti, by which we will be able to receive and digest, understand, and progress more and more on the path of devotion. So something is necessary from our side. It is true that by our own sadhana, we cannot accomplish or capture the infinite. It is true. But we can attract mercy. And if we don't make any endeavor whatsoever, the chances of attracting that mercy might be quite slim. It may be quite slim. But if we make that endeavor, even Mahaprabhu tells us to do something. Nityananda Prabhu tells us to do something. Chant the name of my Gauranga once and you will purchase me. He's begging. Mahaprabhu is saying, you should follow, chant Nir Aparad Nama Loilo. Chant Mahamantra without aparad. You should worship the Vaishnavas. Give mercy to the jivas. Do something. Follow my instruction. Even Nityananda Prabhu is saying, Bolo Krishna, Bhajo Krishna, Koro Krishna Shiksha. Chant the names of Krishna. Worship Krishna. Follow his instructions. So something is required from our side. And then they will see, oh, you are sincere. Any teacher will see it in their classroom. All those kids that are shooting spitballs at each other, who are never paying attention, they're not putting any interest. But if there's any one student even who's really listening, who's trying, who's making that endeavor, the teacher will notice that child is glowing versus all the others who are just playing around. And the teacher will give some extra incentive, something for that, who's really making that endeavor. And same with any child of any parent who's really making the endeavor to be good, to do good. The parents will notice also. And Krishna and Guru will notice, that jiva is trying. That jiva is crying. They're making that endeavor. Let me connect with them. Krishna can't help himself. His nature is to be compassionate and merciful. So that is our great hope. He has that nature within him. He's an ocean of mercy. And when he sees any jiva crying out in separation from him, in desperation to connect with him, in love and affection, in loving service, Krishna almost cannot help himself but to connect. And that inability to help himself to connect manifests in the form of Sri Guru and Vaishnavas and comes into this world, the walking, talking form of the condensed mercy of Krishna. Krishna Kripa Sri Murti or Sri Guru. That personality stands in front of us and begins to train us, to teach us how to properly serve Krishna. What does he like? How can you serve him? What is the thing that you should do, or the things that you should do that will actually be pleasing to Krishna? So this is a beautiful process that we have been incorporated into. The Gaudiya Vaishnava school asserts, no, Janardhan Prabhu, Krishna does not want to force us to love him. Krishna does not want to force it. There needs to be some willing participation on our side. Love is not something that you can force. You cannot hold a gun to someone's head and say, love that person. It's not like that. Guru Gurudev has always said, if you want to drink poison, you can go get it yourself, drink it yourself, but I will not help you to do that. And he cannot force us to drink. He can try in so many ways, but he will not force us. If it is forced, then it can't really be love and affection. So rather than being forced, it is coaxed through the medium of attraction, through the medium of sweet Harikatha, through the medium of connecting in relationship. Then it becomes loving affection. Like Srila Gurudev, he spoke about Sharanagati. We hear this word Sharanagati and we think it means surrender. And in the English language, surrender means, okay, your army defeated my army. Now I put a white flag up and I give up. You're in charge. I belong to you. So I'm now your slave or your servant. I surrender. I give up. Srila Gurudev said, devotional surrender is not like that. So this is important for us because sometimes the word that is used in a translation is not really accurately depicting the intrinsic meaning of that concept. So Sharanagati, Srila Gurudev explained, is devotional surrender. And then he asked the devotee, they were driving from Orlando, I think from the airport to Gainesville or somewhere. Why are you driving me? Why did you pick me up? The devotee said, because I wanted to. Because I want to serve you. I want to please you. And Gurudev said, this is devotional surrender. Out of the desire to, actually it's out of love, out of affection. Out of affection, the desire to express that affection, the desire to express that love manifests in the form of service. That is called devotional service. And that really is devotional surrender. The greatest love that you will find in this world, according to our gurus and our shastras, would be the love of a mother for her child. And there have been many examples throughout history of any parent willingly sacrificing their own life for the benefit of their child. That if that child was in harm's way or in danger's way, that mother would run and take whatever unto herself to protect her child. She's not thinking, oh my God, well, what if something happens to me then? No, her first priority is that love, that affection. So that can be like somehow equated to this mood of devotional surrender. Out of love, out of affection, out of the need to express that, she's willing to give up her own life for the benefit of her darling child. In the same way, devotional surrender for my Gurudev. I want to, out of love and affection, I will serve him. That is devotional surrender. It's not the same as, okay, I give up, you win. It's not like that. So this is very important refinement that our Srila Gurudev gave. Because you cannot force love. One devotee brought his teenage son to see Srila Gurudev in New Braj. And Gurudev said, did you force him to come? Or did he come on his own? And they said, oh, he wanted to come. He wanted to come and see you. And Gurudev said, good, good. I don't want anyone to feel forced. Because you cannot force love. That's something different. That's like slavery. And although in the ultimate conception, you can call it divine slavery, but it's not slavery like the slavery of this world. It's voluntary. Out of love, I will give myself thousands and millions of times. I will give my life thousands and millions of times for one moment of service to you. It's a very different kind of conception. So I just thought it was necessary to refine that. Gurudev won't force us to drink, but he will give us all opportunity. Gurudev said, I will fix your pot. Your pot, he said, is broken into thousands of pieces. Your heart is like this broken pot. I will fix it for free, and I will fill it with nectar. But still, there's something on our side, a requirement. What's the requirement? Even if Gurudev fixes the pot and fills it with nectar, we have to drink it. Something is required on our side. So up to a certain point, everything can be done. But we also have a requirement from our side. And from that, both perspectives, our endeavor and that mercy, then, as Gurudev said, Bhagavan can become controlled. Only when both of these elements are present together. So, in the example of the person in the well, he must hold on to the rope, and from above he must be pulled out. In this example, the person in the well cries out for help, and later firmly catches hold of the rope. That crying out for help, that's our side. Srila Gaura Govinda Maharaj explains this. What is our part of this interaction? He says our sincerity and our tears, crying for mercy. He said the rest is up to Guru and Krishna. That's their business, he said. Ours is to cry with a heart full of sincerity. So when you're in a well, that's a perfect example. You cry out. You don't even know if anyone's around, but you begin crying, screaming, weeping. Is anyone out there? Please help me. And then they come and lower the rope, and we have some obligation to hold on, and then they will pull us out. These endeavors are the means of his deliverance. In other words, they are his sadhana. From above, the person who is trying to pull him out is bestowing causeless mercy. It means that person on top doesn't have to pull you out if he doesn't want to. There's no cause for it, but he feels inclined to because of your desperate calling. So he's bestowing his causeless mercy. For someone helplessly fallen in the well of material existence, Sri Bhagavan's causeless mercy descends just like this rope. And by performing sadhana, one takes hold of that rope and achieves service to his lotus feet. It's beautiful when you see the acharyas explaining these points, and they have maybe different ways of explaining, but it's speaking about the same essential subject. And so Gurudev is speaking here about these mercy ropes. Just like this rope. And Srila Gaura Govinda Maharaj was saying, mercy ropes are hanging, mercy ropes are descending. Hold on. Grab onto that rope. That is the lotus feet of Sri Guru. Mother Yashoda did not give up in her attempt to bind Krishna. She kept trying. All of the gopis began to clap their hands and say, "Oh, mother, the Creator has not written on this boy's forehead that he will be bound, so how can you tie him up?" Ooh. So she's been tying one rope after the next, after the next, after the next, thousands of ropes together and trying, and still 2 fingers too short. So now the gopis are laughing and clapping. Oh, it is not written in his astrology that he will be bound today. Here it says on his forehead. So any very good reader can see your life and everything just by glancing at your forehead. One time Srila Gurudev said that to one very, very good astrologer. He said, on your forehead, I can see 10,000 lifetimes. 10,000. Just like that. So, Mother Yashoda felt ashamed. This is so embarrassing, she thought. I have not been able to bind the child that came from my own womb. Taking shelter of Bhagavan, Sri Narayan. Notice, she's not worshipping Krishna as Bhagavan. She sees him as her darling boy. She worships Sriman Narayan. So she swears to Narayan, she prays to Narayan. But Krishna, who is the source of infinite forms of Narayan, she only sees as my darling child. Taking shelter of Bhagavan Sri Narayan, she silently began to pray. "O Narayan, please help me. If I cannot bind this boy today, it will be so shameful for me. Protect my honor." Her face had become reddish like the rising sun, and drops of perspiration had begun to roll down her face like pearls. Srimad Bhagavatam describes this as follows. Svamatu svinnagatraya visrasta kabarashraja drishva parishramam Krishna kripaya sit svabandane. Sri Krishna saw that his mother's body had become drenched with perspiration. The garlands woven into her braid had fallen out, and she had become utterly exhausted. Seeing his mother's fatigue, little Sri Krishna compassionately allowed himself to be bound. So Srila Gurudev is commenting here. Sadhakas should perform sadhan bhajan with the same unwavering determination and hard endeavor. Then Sri Krishna's heart will melt and he will be compelled to bestow his sublime devotional service upon them. Indeed, when Sri Krishna saw his mother's firm resolve, his heart melted, and his topmost potency, his mercy, the totality of all of his powers combined, then manifested as his bhakta vatsalyata, his affection for his devotees. Srila Gurudev just mentioned something very, very interesting here. His topmost potency is his mercy. And that is the totality of all of his powers combined. Mercy. That is his topmost potency and the combined totality of all other potencies. Kripa Shakti. So from that, his heart melting and this topmost potency manifesting, it came out as his bhakta vatsalyata, or his affection for his devotees. At that very moment, his Aishvarya Shakti, his potency of supreme majesty, disappeared and he allowed himself to be bound. So this topmost potency took precedence, priority over his awesomeness, his Aishvarya Shakti, by which he made it that thousands of ropes together could not bind him. That Kripa Shakti, how did it manifest? How did it come about? It came about when he saw her intense, hard endeavor to the point of exhaustion, that she would not give up under any circumstance. She was praying and utilizing all of her energy to bind him with her love and affection. And Srila Gurudev says that the sadhakas, means those in this world who are also endeavoring in such a way to somehow capture Krishna, to capture his mercy, they must also have the same kind of unwavering determination and hard endeavor. Then Krishna's heart will melt and he will become compelled to bestow his sublime devotional service upon them. So by this, his mercy potency manifested and the Aishvarya Shakti was covered. Mother Yashoda had made an intense endeavor with unflinching resolve. This unflinching resolve has a word, a name in Sanskrit. This is Nishtha. No matter what, I will not stop. No matter what. And Haridas Thakur, he exemplified this also. When they told him to stop chanting the holy names, you were born in such a great family of worshippers, of Muslims. It's not befitting of you to chant the names of Krishna. You should give up the chanting of these names. And he said, what can I do? Even if you cut my body into thousands of pieces, I will not be able to give up the chanting of the holy names of Krishna. So this is very firm resolve. He could not stop the chanting of the holy names and would not. So Mother Yashoda, she made an intense endeavor with unflinching resolve. following her example. Sadhakas should try to melt Sri Krishna's heart, and by practicing devotional service that is imbued with characteristics like sincere, loving emotions, bhav, great enthusiasm and anxiousness, utkanta, a deep sense of closeness and relationship, sambandha, a feeling of possessiveness, mamata, and intense affection for him, priti, they should compel him to engage them in loving service to him. And this is like the essence of all advice on how to somehow or other secure the mercy of Krishna in our lives. So here Srila Gurudev is actually referencing the definition of prem and also the definition of bhav. If you study the verses, so sadhakas should practice devotional service imbued with characteristics like sincere, loving emotions, bhav. This is the goal of all of our sadhana. Bhav means sincere or deep, loving emotions, these devotional moods. Great enthusiasm. Enthusiasm or utkanta, eagerness, is the drive. Something is necessary. Utsaha nishchaya dharya, Rupa Goswami says in the 3rd verse of Upadeshamrita. If you want to move forward on the path, you need energy. If you want to drive anywhere, you need fuel. That fuel is our enthusiasm. But what does that enthusiasm come from? The enthusiasm really comes by association with devotees who have that nature. By associating with those persons, an excitement comes. In a similar way that you might be watching any sporting event and whoever's there watching it is so fired up and so excited it becomes contagious. If you associate with devotees of Krishna, they are fired up and excited about Krishna. And that excitement, that fired upness becomes contagious. And we will also desire to have that kind of mood, being with those who are excited for Krishna. So that utkanta or eagerness is necessary. That is our utsaha, enthusiasm. A deep sense of closeness and relationship. Sambandha. Sambandha means relationship. This is also necessary. Some knowledge of my relationship to Krishna. What is my goal? What is my aspiration? What is my hope? If I don't have a goal, then how can I have enthusiasm for that goal? It can kind of be general enthusiasm for what? But if you have a one-pointed focus, then enthusiasm can be manifested, real enthusiasm. Right? Anyone who wants to achieve anything in this world, if they have their eyes set on a particular goal and they focus and practice and go deep in that direction, then they can achieve that. And enthusiasm is necessary to propel one to move forward. But that goal needs to also be established. And that goal is our sambandha, our relationship with Krishna. Maybe we haven't realized it yet, but Sri Guru gives us some indication of that to give us greed, lolyam, lobe for attaining that. Tatra lolyam api mulyam ekalam. The root qualification for the attainment of Krishna Bhakti Ras is the intense, greedy desire to have it. So you need to have that goal, and you need that goal in itself brings about that greed to attain it.
Make sure you look at the time.
Okay, and then a feeling of possessiveness, that is mamata. This feeling of possessiveness will come when you have a relationship with someone who has that feeling, that connection, that relationship. Quite often, when people become attached to other people, they also form attachments to who those persons are attached to. It's just natural. I want to know everything about this person. Therefore, I want to become close to everyone that that person is close to, because I want to make that connection. So, a feeling of possessiveness, mamata, and intense affection, a feeling of possessiveness. So this person is mine. How do we develop that? Srila Gurudeva speak about his Gurudev in such a way, with so much love and affection, with tears in his eyes and voice choked up, that we also want to develop a relationship with him. By mamata to Guru, by my relationship with my Guru and his connection to that person, that I also feel that he is mine. Oh, Rupa Goswami, he is mine. Sanatana Goswami is mine. Srila Prabhupada is mine. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, mamata forms. And then you hear about Nityananda Prabhu, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. By that person who has that deep affectionate relationship with them, you start feeling they are mine. Vrindavan is mine. And then Radha Krishna. When Gurudev is weeping, speaking about Krishna and his pastimes in relationship with his beloved devotees, you start to feel some kind of connection to them. Yes, yes, they are mine. You ask any devotee, who's the Supreme Personality of Godhead? Krishna. Krishna. Just like that. So this sense of possessiveness. With possessiveness also comes defensiveness. It's natural. They are mine. If anyone goes against them, hey, like this, very close. Raghunath Das Goswami shows these moods very deeply. His mood of allegiance and exclusiveness to Srimati Radhika. What kind of mamata does he have for her? Possessiveness. So when we come close to Sri Guru, and he speaks about all of these divine transcendental personalities with mamata, then gradually we also develop that sense of attachment and possessiveness to these personalities. And intense affection for him. That is priti. Priti stad basati stale. So this love and affection, this will also develop in the association of those who have it. According to Shastra, the root qualification or cause for Krishna Bhakti's manifestation is the association of the pure devotees of Krishna. Krishna Bhakti Janma Mool Hoy Sadhu Sangha. Associating with the pure devotees of Krishna, because they have love and affection for Krishna, Priti, this will awaken within our heart what they have in their heart. So that mood which is present within their heart, if we're associating with them, it will also awaken what is present within our heart. And it is necessary to awaken it. Just like sunlight and soil and water is necessary to awaken what is present within a seed. It's there, but it's dormant until the right ingredients come and touch that. Something is necessary, and then it begins to sprout and continues to grow with those same substances. Sunlight, soil, water. So by this priti, love and affection, then we should compel, I'm saying we, because Gurudev is saying the sadhakas, those who are practicing on the path of sadhana, to attract Krishna's mercy. They should compel him to engage them in loving service to him. So this is very beautiful advice for anyone who is eager to want to love and serve Krishna one day, truly from the heart. Then we can take this deeply into our hearts, absorb our minds and our hearts in these moods which Srila Gurudev just told here. And by this, Krishna will be attracted. To do what? To engage us in our nature. And our nature is to love Krishna. And love is manifested through the medium of service with devotion. Srila Gurudev ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Rupananda Guru Varga ki jai, Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki jai, Gaura Premanande, Hari Hari Bol. So we will continue next time with verse 2, page 44. Shri Damodarasṭakam ki jai. Shri Yashoda Damodar ki jai. So before I do this kirtan, I just want to remind everyone, and you might want to stay. Sudevi just did the Shringar for Thakurji. And when you get the close-up, you will understand why you want to stay. Tomorrow, we will be beginning our live streaming 2 hours earlier, starting at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, 3 p.m. Vrindavan time. Notice I said in the afternoon, so that we don't mistake it for the morning time. 3 p.m. Vrindavan time. We will start at Ram Ghat. That is, we'll tell about it there, and we'll also continue from there through some different locations, to Chir Ghat, and then we'll do some kirtan as well. So we would love it if you are with us tomorrow, starting at 3 o'clock from Sri Ram Ghat. Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Gaura Hari Bol, Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Jai Gurudev, 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 Jai Gurudev, Jai Gurudev, 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 Jai Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jai Prabhupada, Jai Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jai Prabhupada. Shri Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari. Shri Gurudev ki jai, Shri Prabhupada ki jai, Swaran Guru Varga ki jai, Pati Pavan Shri Nityananda Prabhu ki jai, Purushottam Shachinandana Gaur Hari ki jai, Radha Vinodi Hari Ju ki jai, Radha Raju ki jai, Giriraj Maharaj ki jai, Hari Rama Sankirtan ki jai, Hare Krishna Mahamantra ki jai, Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai, Shri Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol. Bolo Radhe Radhe Radhe, Jai 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 Shri Radhe, Radhe Radhe Radhe, Jai 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 Shri Radhe, Radhe Radhe Radhe, Jai 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 Shri Radhe. Bolo Radhe Radhe Radhe, Jai 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 Shri Radhe. Shri Vrindavan Bihari Lal ki jai, Jai Jai Shri Radhe, Jai Jai Shri Radhe, Jai Jai Shri Radhe. you all for being with us today and giving us the opportunity to remember the beautiful teachings of our Gurudev and our Guru Varga and to go through this amazing, beautiful, transcendental treasure together. Also, we want to express our deepest gratitude and indebtedness to all of you for daily engaging us in our Guru Seva. We have no way to repay you for this. It is our life and soul to be able to serve our Gurudev, and you are giving us this opportunity. So, our deepest gratitude and humble Dandavat Pranams. We look forward to being with all of you tomorrow, starting at 3 o'clock p.m. out in the field. Sri Ram Ghat. Dandavat Pranam. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Radhe Radhe. Radha Vinu Bihari Ju ki jai. Shachinandana Gaura Hari ki jai.
Just
Oh, it stopped. My thing stopped.